Santa Cruz,
Santa Cruz, oh.
down by the gas works.
By the gas works?
Yeah, that's what it was, River Street. Right across from our house was the gas works. They used to make gas in this great big tank, 40 or 50 feet up. And they made their own natural gas. That was on River Street. Not many people in Santa Cruz remember that.
I didn't know about it at all. Yeah. So is that where and your dad was the one who came from San Francisco or the Gold Country? Tell me a little bit about your dad. Where he lived.
Oh, he came over here, you know, and left the old country like 15, got on a boat, left his home, and he ended up in Jackson, Amador County. And that's where him and my mother met and they married.
Were they both from the same part of Italy?
My father was from Calabria, that's down at the boot. And my mother was just the opposite. She was Piedmontese, she came from up north country.
Oh yeah, Genoa?
Yeah, that's why sometimes they call me a cutthroat, because the northern end to the southern end of Italy, you know, they were called, what were they, Calabrese. They used to go like this.
When he came out to the Gold Country, is that because there were other relatives in those mining camps? Was he really striking out on his own?
No relatives there, but he got a job in the mines. That's where he started out. He was there for a while, and then he went to San Francisco. From what I understand, he opened up a small candy store up there.
In San Francisco.
That was after the fire.
Had the family been candy makers in Italy? Do you think he learned this when he was in Angels Camp in Jackson?
No, I don't think so. We learned down here.
Oh, here in Santa Cruz. Oh, didn't do it before that. And what was your, can you would like to record your father's name and your mother's name?
My dad's name was Victor Marini Sr., and my mother's name was Elizabeth, her maiden name, Elizabeth Cardinale.
Cardinale. Oh, so you're related to, she's related to the Cardinales on the wharf and around? No, different Cardinales.
No relatives.
Yeah. So when he came into San Francisco and started the candy store there, did he own it or did he work in the candy store?
No, he had his own little candy shop. And you're just taking it, I wasn't there then.
Yeah.
Before my time. And I was born right here.
Was he in the Italian community area, North Beach?
Yeah.
Yeah. And was the name Marini's? Marini's Candies up there?
Can't answer that question.
I think it was Palace.
Palace?
Wasn't it Palace?
Palace was the name of his barber shop.
I think that
The Palace Barber Shop on Cooper Street. He had the biggest shop in town. 5 chairs plus 5 baths in the back.
Oh, no.
The farmers used to come in on weekends and get a bath. It was my job to clean that damn stuff up after they got through.
Oh.
Sometimes you needed a hoe to get the dirt out.
And you were just a kid then?
Yeah, I was a kid.
Yeah. Do you have brothers and sisters that worked with you there?
I have a sister who's still here, I told you. And
that's Gladys?
one brother, I had a younger brother that worked here, and he died when he was 19.
Oh my goodness.
And he went to Chaminade. You know what Chaminade is? The school?
Oh yes,
He used to go there. He was friends of, you know, the Shoppers Corner? Biergard?
Yeah.
Biergard and Vinnie Williams. He went to school with those two guys.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Then he has brother Victor.
Brother
and Albert.
And Albert.
And Grace.
And sister Grace. I told her she works here.
Yeah. And I know Al worked down here
He
at the
worked
cigar
at the cigar store.
Yeah. What
But
about
Vic never wanted to come close to the place.
Is that right?
My dad fought with him. You better get down here to help out. No, something. Couldn't make him do it.
What did he do? What was he more interested in?
He was a mechanic.
Oh.
He worked for the Ford Motor Company here as a mechanic for a long time. His wife still lives there.
Yeah.
And she still has a brand new Ford pickup that he bought. Never got to use it. It's in the garage up there, and she won't. You can look at it as far as we go. Nobody can touch it.
Oh, for heaven's sake, it's like in his memory, huh? And your children again are Joel?
Joel and Joel Jr.
Yeah, and Joel is married to?
Joel is married to Kathy there, and Joel Jr. is married to Carol.
And Kathy, are you Italian also?
No, I'm Yugoslavian. I'm proud of it.
Cleaning up the blood.
That's
what
right.
you're doing there, huh? Yeah.
Getting that line straight.
And how about Carol?
She's of English and Irish descent.
I guess we brought your father down. It came from
Jackson?
yeah, from Jackson. And before that, he was in Italy.
In Italy.
And that was then now I forgot what you said.
Calabria.
Calabria. Okay.
Down at the boot.
Okay. What brought him from San Francisco to Santa Cruz?
Oh, it escapes me now. Can't recollect why.
But when he came here, he didn't start right into the candy business, did he? When he came to Santa Cruz, did he start out
No, I told you he had a barber shop.
barbershop? Right.
Yeah, barber shop, and he was on Cooper Street, 17 Cooper Street, had one of them old-time barber poles. I swear I seen it in Salinas one about 2 months ago in the used shop. It was one of those round things, sets up about 6 feet off the sidewalk with a light in it. It was my job every day to go outside with a hand crank and crank it up for the day.
And then it just
It kept
mechanically
going around,
unwound?
yeah.
Yeah.
It ran out at night.
Oh.
Next morning, it went and cranked it up again.
Huh, that's great. You had a lot of jobs when you were a kid.
That was my one job. Another job I had is on Wednesdays and Saturdays. We had an orchard, I told you, with a lot of fruit trees. It was my job to go down to the flea market on those days with my coaster wagon. I had a big wagon, held about 24 baskets of strawberries and peaches and apples and that stuff. And I'd go down to the flea market. So I had one fella, Librand Street is named after him, Pop Librand. And he'd come, he had a big family, 8 or 9 kids. And he'd come over there with his truck and take all the stuff like that. I was sue for the day.
He'd buy the whole thing?
Just about.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, yeah. Was this out on Cooper Street? Is that where they,
Front
down near
Street.
the, Front Street, near the
Where
river?
the flea
Yeah.
market was.
Yeah,
Barber shop was on Cooper Street.
Yeah, I've seen all the wagons pulled up to the curbs there for the
Yeah,
free market and some
free
of the
market.
old pictures. Yeah, so that's paralleling the San
Long time
Lorenzo
ago, that
River.
was.
Yeah, and now it's a popular idea again. Since the
They're getting to
earthquake,
do
you
it
know, they
again.
opened that farmer's
Yeah.
market down there. It's
Yeah.
like a good idea that never died. Yeah. And when your dad first came here, when he first came to the boardwalk, his barber shop had he retired from barbering, or did he just decide it was a better idea?
No, he had the shop uptown and he let somebody there. And I told you he was in the Casa del Rey. No,
Oh,
I didn't tell you that.
No, I didn't know that.
Casa del Rey had a little barber shop in there.
Uh-huh.
And we'd go down there during the summer, him and I'd shine shoes, he'd cut hair. And we stood there during the summer, and after the summer, we went back to the barber shop. That's how we got mixed up here.
So he was right on the scene and heard
A
what
fella
things
from, had a little place by name of, did I tell you Jack Briller?
No, I haven't heard
Came
that.
over, he had a little popcorn
Yeah.
counter, you know, just a wooden counter with a showcase and had a few boxes of candy on it. Why don't you and your son come over to the boardwalk? I'm getting tired of that. And I think my dad gave him $5,000 for a 6-foot wooden counter.
$5,000.
Yeah, that was a lot of money them days. Took us
Yeah.
several years to get it out.
Yeah.
You know, it was just, in them days, it was you opened up on Decoration Day, Labor Day come, you closed everything up, put everything away till Easter week again.
And he did this in the 20s? Or was this 1950? No, 1915 he was doing his barber business still.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this.
When did I tell you we came here, Kathy?
1915 is what Beck is listed as being.
The year after the earthquake, he came to Santa Cruz. I remember
Oh,
that.
is that right? Yeah.
And the earthquake was 1905, I think. Isn't that right?
6.
6, was it?
Just 1 year off after all these years. It's not too bad. Okay, so we can go here. So you started out with a popcorn stand. Now, what was
Just
your
popcorn.
job? What was your job then? Because so far we got you hosing out the farmers' bathtubs, selling the
That's
strawberries,
up
yeah,
there.
shining the shoes.
Yeah.
So you
Down
got
here, when we first came, you know, you had a dry popper, something like that over there. There was no such thing. You put butter in the pan,
Yeah.
popcorn, you took the popper like that, and we'd fill the bags up, put them in a double steamer so it'd stay warm. When somebody came, you lifted the bag up, put a little salt in from a kettle, like a coffee pot. We had butter, melted butter in it. We had real butter in it.
Yeah.
And you poured butter over the top.
Oh, I'm getting hungry.
And I remember we had a sign there. Put a lot of butter on it, so we put a sign up. Our popcorn is popped in butter, extra charge for extra butter.
How much extra?
Like 10 cents.
Like 10
Give 'em
cents
a
more
shot
for
of butter.
extra shot of butter. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. You operated the popcorn stand for just a few years before you moved into a larger space?
Yeah,
Or he did? Yeah,
my dad.
yeah, your dad did.
Then we came up and we had a chance to get in another place down the boardwalk,
Bigger place?
a little bigger place. They put us right next to a fellow that had monkeys. Can you imagine the damn
No.
taffy store next to a monkey
Oh,
place?
my
And the
God.
people come and bought more damn taffy and threw it in those monkey cages to watch them monkeys trying to chew it. It was a sight. They're sticking it
Why monkeys? My gosh. So you were doing candy then at that location. You graduated from, you added candy to the popcorn line.
added the candy to the popcorn. We bought out, I forgot to tell you, some people had another 6-foot counter, they called them Flo and Marty, had a candy store factory uptown. And they were down there, we bought them out.
I didn't catch the name.
Flo and Marty.
Flo and Marty.
And after the candy store, there was a place on the corner, a cigar store. Cox and McClintock, they also had a store uptown. And we bought that. We bought it mainly because slot machines are on the wall. Real slot machines.
Oh, yeah?
Like you have in Reno.
Yeah.
And I remember I used to get somebody in there on Saturday nights who wouldn't leave. They wanted to get the jackpot. And they'd stay there sometimes, spend $40 or $50
Oh, no
in
kidding.
nickel machines.
Okay.
They weren't allowed to use money. You had to buy slugs. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were doing popcorn and candy up that way on the walk?
Yeah.
That,
That's where it started, down
yeah,
there.
yeah. Whereabouts was that in relation to the Giant Dipper and the carousel?
You know where Hodges is?
Yeah.
Up from Hodges,
Okay.
quite a way.
Towards the river?
No,
'Cause that's
towards
down.
this way.
Yeah, towards this way, towards the wharf. Yeah.
It's a damn long ago. I'm surprising myself I remember.
Yeah. You got a great memory. You got some great stories. This is good. Yeah. So the cigar stores then sort of took care of the adult crowd because you had the income from the. Now, did you have to like pay a tax to the special tax to the city on the slot machines and stuff like that?
No, we didn't, but the guy, they wouldn't let us buy it. We did buy our own machines. And one day the chief of police came down here with a fellow by the name of, I can't remember his name. Now, Mr. Marini, this such and such, I can't remember his name, he's got the exclusive rights in Santa Cruz for slot machines. they're learning what to do already then.
Yeah.
Now, you can still have slot machines, but you're gonna have to put in his. Now, we'll buy the ones you got.
Huh?
See how there was draft? Chief of Police Walker was his name.
Yeah.
He got thrown in jail.
Did he?
Later.
Yeah.
He did get thrown in jail.
There is justice.
Yeah, he got in jail for taking bribes.
Ah, yeah, sounds like a likely
Figures.
character. Yeah, right. So what business was next? Because you kept expanding, right? Well,
Well,
I guess we should get back to when your dad, how much of this was your dad, and then when you took over and continued to
Well, my
expand
dad
business.
was here till the year he died. Was it 38, Captain? 1938?
So by the time, before he died, he'd started the popcorn stand and the candy stand and the cigar store.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, there was a game down here called box ball.
Uh-huh.
You know what box, you ever see it?
I read a
You-
description of
You
it.
throw the balls and the pins go up. And on the side here, there's a big handle that you reset the pins, called box ball.
Oh, so it's a little bit like a
Yeah,
little
my
mechanical bowling.
my sister Grace used to come down and keep score for the guys that used to, and they'd slip her $1.50 or something,
Oh, is that right?
keep
Great.
score for them.
Great, yeah. So that's where he started, was the box ball, and then the,
Yeah, that was the first thing.
yeah, and that was the one that he was operating when the Santa Cruz Seaside Company reorganized the companies and became the Santa Cruz Seaside Company in 1915.
Yes.
That's about when he started that, and then from that point on. So when, I guess you got all your business brains and business sense and everything from him. He sounds like a pretty sharp fellow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
How old were you when you took over the business from him when he passed away?
When he passed away.
Yeah. How old were you then? Still pretty young. So,
Kathy, how old was I when I took over here? You remember? Oh, I thought that was Kathy. You got that written down?
When, how old was he when you took over? Well, I think when your dad died.
1938.
That's the year you got married,
Yeah.
and that's the year that your dad died.
Yeah.
And Josephine,
She,
was
my
a
wife
big
used to,
part.
yeah, that's right. She was as much of this as I was.
And he started out on the bathing store at that time.
Yeah, yeah.
let's talk a little bit about Josephine and the businesses that came next, and then I'm going to go backwards in time and ask you about the bakery, because I skipped that part.
Now, what do you want to know again?
Tell me how you met her. How'd
Tell
she
me,
catch your eye?
Funny thing, my sister Grace upstairs,
Yeah.
she married my wife's husband, Johnny,
Brother, yeah.
brother.
Uh-huh.
And every once in a while, when he'd come over, he'd bring Josephine over. He used to come over early in the morning. I never paid any attention to it. Then one day, he asked my dad, you got room for my sister? She'd like a job on the boardwalk. So he gave her a job, and that's where we met.
So you're both working in the same store. You weren't the owner of the store then at that time.
No.
This was early. Yeah.
Yeah, we both worked.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you took over from your dad, she became your partner.
Right, she was as much of this as I was.
Yeah. Tell me about your day in the early days. How, what time did you get down here? What did you do, and what did she do? And what kind of jobs had to be done?
Very much the same as we're doing now. Make apples the first thing in the morning. Taffy wrap to do. The money, we didn't have this, for quite a while. This wrapper was those machines I showed you that
Oh, the little
crack them out in my
machines.
hand.
We'll get some of those on film.
The girls that stay in front of that machine, the girl on each side with twisting paper, twisting them, hand twisting.
And were these girls part of your family, or these were
No.
girls that you hired?
We hired
Yeah. Yeah. Were they from the high school?
all over.
Yeah. Some of them grown women.
You could hire, in them early days, you got somebody to work for 25 or 35 cents an hour.
Is that right? Yeah.
And you was paying the minimum salary then.
Yeah. Yeah.
course, wouldn't get to know $1.65 for a cotton candy like we're doing now.
That's right, you told me it was 5 cents. You can sell it at that, yeah. So you remember what time in the morning you got down here?
Oh, I think we got in the habit, we was always here early in the morning.
Yeah, like 5 or 6?
Yeah, no, not quite that early.
Not that early.
My dad used to come by my bedroom, knock on the door, come on, let's get going. That was when I was in the barbershop. He had a barbershop, I told you.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to go down with him early in the morning to ride the bicycle. He'd get on the seat and I'd get on the crossbars.
Oh.
And he'd give me a ride to work that way.
Where were you living then?
I was living on Coral Street. You know where Coral is? I remember one time they were building River Street then. They were paving River Street. And I was coming back from having lunch, and I got behind this truck and I wasn't paying attention. All of a sudden, he backed up and smashed.
Oh my gosh.
I'd never forget that. Smashed my bike. And I started crying.
Oh.
And the guy, I says, I want my bike fixed. Well, where's your dad? I says, down at the barber shop. So he picked the bike up and threw it in his truck and he gave me a ride. He showed my dad the bike. And I'll never forget. What the hell happened? Well, he says, he ran into me.
The driver said you ran into him? Yeah. And you're just a kid, so too, yeah.
Yeah, I remember the lecture I got. Yeah, lucky you wasn't killed.
Yeah. Let me have this back. I'm going to turn this over here, okay? Oh, these stories are just great, Joe. This is so much fun.
Fun for you, but it's work to me.
It's work to you, huh? I heard that you're the one who always wants to get back to work in the kitchen here. So.
Anything else I can tell it with?
Yeah, we're going to go in the other room. I want to ask you about the work here and all of your other businesses. Like, what came first? What came next?
You mean on the
walk? Yeah.
The first was the candy store. And like I told you, the fella came over to get a haircut. My dad was a barber in the Cowsill Ray. Why don't you come over? And I'm getting tired of it. And I was a popcorn stand. And then the next thing was a cigar store, Cox and McClintock. They also had a store uptown. And we took that because the slot machines were coming back.
Yeah.
It was a good deal.
Yeah, yeah.
Till the guys from San Jose found out they had slot machines here, and we had an awful time. They'd bring these round slugs over from San Jose and put them in the machines.
Oh, so they didn't pay you for the slugs. They brought their own?
They bought their own slugs. And then when they're through playing, we cashed them in for them. And the first thing you know, we had an apple box full of these damn washers.
Huh.
So that was easy to solve. Frank Murphy, the new district attorney, put a stop to all the slot machines.
All the slot machines, yeah. It was in the middle 30s sometime, wasn't it? Yeah. So after the cigar store, then what was the next business enterprise?
Well, I guess we took over the merry-go-round stand from Mr. Pete Warner. And then there's a store, and I don't know who ran that. I think we opened that at the Dodgem. Is there Dodgems there now?
Yeah.
Dodgem,
yeah. Yeah, and you had what kind of a store there?
Popcorn, candy and stuff. Yeah. Then we went down to the river mouth, and we put a little concession in. They had a the chutes.
Oh, yeah.
With water coming down, and you got up and slid out into the water. We put a concession there. But
and that was food also?
Yeah, same thing we got.
Yeah, snacks and stuff. Yeah. And when did you get into the clothing?
Clothing? We had a little store here. We used to call it the newsstand. It was halfway between here and this covered place here.
Yeah.
And people used to come in and any place on the boardwalk you can buy a swimsuit. So we decided we was going to put a few trunks in there, you know. So we started putting them in, and they used to come in, where can we try these on? Well, there's dressing rooms up here. Why don't you go up there and try them on? That's how they, when we first started, no dressing
No
rooms,
dressing
nothing.
room.
So what size are you? Well, just remember, no returns. You're size 36, you take a 36 and that's it. There was state law against accepting returns.
Yeah.
So I remember we had a big sign, bathing suits are not returnable.
When did you go out on the wharf? The shop that's out on the wharf?
Quite a while later, yeah. You remember when we went there, don't you,
It
Kathy?
was in the 80s.
Was it?
So you've operated here through your family has been here through every change in management
Oh,
of
yeah.
the Seaside company. You've dealt with a lot of different
Yes.
different people over the years. Yeah.
I think the first one in charge here is Mr. Cardiff.
Cardiff,
I think there's still relatives of his around town, Cardiff Pest Control.
Uh-huh.
I think it's in that family.
Uh-huh.
M.L. Smith, Mr. Jenkins, you ever heard of him?
Oh, yeah.
He's a fellow that ran off the cliff one night
Oh, I heard that,
when he
yeah.
was in the, his nose was starting to bleed.
Wow.
When he was in the hospital, you know, there's a hospital called Hanley Hospital
Oh, I remember
out here in
that.
the point.
Yeah.
And he got out of bed one night in kind of a stupor, walked right out, off, fell off over
Oh, boy.
Mr. Jenkins.
Yeah. That's too bad. Tell me now about your the Mary Gold partnership with Goldstein.
Well, I told you that Mr. Goldstein had the ice cream concession right across from us here. And we had the rights to candy, he had the rights to ice cream. So they got together, decided we're going to put this store there. I'll take care of the ice cream end of it, and you take care of the candy end. What we make at the end of the year, we'll split. That's how they did that.
That's great. And that was you? You were in charge then of the store?
No,
That was your father?
my father.
Yeah. Tell me a little about the family members that work here in the store. Who do you have working for you? What do they do?
My two sons work here
Yeah.
now,
Yeah. And they're managers?
managers.
Yeah. Do they make the candy too?
Not unless they have to.
Yeah. Who taught all these folks to make the candy? Who taught them how to do it right?
We,
Is that you?
yeah, we
Josephine?
taught them, Josephine, and the boys also,
Yeah.
show them what to do.
Did Josephine do a lot of the training of the girls when they
Yeah,
came in?
she kept them straight, you know, keep their hair up, no hair signing over.
She used to do a lot of the books,
She did the books.
scheduling,
Yeah.
and the buying for the bathing store. Remember in the war, during the war, Nana,
Yeah,
the bathing suit?
there was an outfit called Gantner and Matter Company.
Oh, yes.
Swimsuit people up in the city.
Uh-huh.
Things were so tough up there, we'd go up there, Josephine and I, and they'd just tell us, go in the store, take anything you want. Things were really tough.
Wow.
During the Depression,
Yeah.
they couldn't find material to make the clothes. Or during the war, I think it was.
Uh-huh. So you brought that swimsuit line down here and sold it on the boardwalk?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or did you make your own? Did you buy the material from
No,
them?
no, no, no. We never made it. No.
Yeah.
Except my sister used to make a few bikinis for me.
Really? Yeah.
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 When bikinis first came out. That's where it got its name. Marini's bikinis.
Oh, I see, because she made them.
She used to make
That's
some
Grace?
hot numbers.
Really?
Grace, yeah.
Now, tell her about the redwood boxes and the stuffed fruit.
Oh, we don't have a deal here.
Yeah, we do have one in the
No.
back. We'll show her later.
Well, my dad and I thought we'd like to do something in the wintertime, you know. We closed up in September, Labor Day, so we thought we was going into something different. So we was going to start this California stuffed fruit.
Uh-huh.
We stuffed prunes, apricots, had the dipper chocolate coat them, put them in redwood boxes. And we was going to start a wholesale business. We put ads in the papers, got a lot of inquiries, and we shipped a lot of these boxes. But when it come time to pay for them, everybody reneged.
Oh, my gosh.
We didn't have a very good system, I don't think. We should have had a COD deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because that sounds like a
But
great idea.
that didn't last very long.
Yeah.
A year or two of that, and that was it. I
So-
think around here someplace, there's some of those redwood boxes.
Oh, there must
Or
be some
someplace.
somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody must have them stashed away. Look at, here's one here.
Yeah, that's what they look
Oh,
like.
those are
Yeah.
beautiful.
I'll be darned.
Oh, my
Look,
gosh.
California stuffed fruit.
And if anybody would have paid you for them, how much would they sell for? Yeah.
See, they had these liners in them and everything.
Oh, my gosh.
This has
look
got
at
bugs in it. Even. So
Yeah, well, so they finished up all the chocolate.
this
coated
box
ones.
would have cost
Can you,
probably.
Did you make
8 or
these
10.
boxes, Nana?
No, I didn't make it. No.
somebody
We-
here local?
Local, somebody
You
local
wanna-
made them.
If you can hold this up by the camera, we'll show that. Yeah. That's a beautiful, beautiful sample. There's a family over in Sunnyvale that still runs their chocolate dipped prunes and chocolate dipped
Yeah, I
dried
forget
fruits.
their name.
Mariani.
Mariani.
Yeah?
Mariani.
Yeah, I forgot what it was. Yeah. Let's see. We started on who was working here in the family. You said Grace
My
works
sister
for you.
Grace.
And how long has she been working here?
Well, she took time out, raised. She has a daughter and a son. She took time out, raised them up. Then her husband passed away, and she got tired of hanging around the house, so she came back. She's been with us ever since.
And she hand dips the chocolates too, doesn't
No,
she?
not
No,
Grace. She's
not
a
Grace.
bookkeeper.
Ah,
Bookkeeper.
who are the ladies that we see in the window sometimes hand dipping the chocolates?
Yeah, Mrs. Rogers is one. Out at the wharf, we have another couple.
Uh-huh.
They're old time. Mrs. Rogers been dipping all her life.
That's quite an art, isn't
Yeah,
it?
It is. Yeah.
And who taught her to do that?
It was in her family, I think.
I see. When you're hiring kids here, I mean, you've put a lot of kids to work over the years.
A lot
You've
of
given
people.
a lot of
That's
kids,
right.
a lot of people their jobs. Isn't that beautiful? Look at this ad.
Remember this, Nana?
Yeah. Yeah. This thing cost us a lot of money them days. Notice
Yeah, all
all
that color.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that a beauty? 5 stands on the boardwalk at Santa Cruz, California.
A combination of sea breeze and sunshine.
Yeah, good advertising. Good slogans
My
there.
dad and
Yeah. Nice, charming girl with the bathing suit there.
I noticed the old time bathing suit.
It's a
That was the
beauty.
style.
Yeah. And she's got her little wading shoes on. They look just like the ones Barbara Zerlick's wearing behind me. Oh, these are beautiful. Now we have a picture of that. I was going to ask you, the molasses kisses then are actually the taffy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just the same thing as taffy, only we put them in these little boxes here.
Kathy, we have this photograph.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
So you get 16 pieces or better for a dime then.
And Kathy will bring out a photograph that shows the candy maker and candy wrapper out in front of the store.
Candy pull it.
Candy puller. Well, she's bringing a picture here of them.
It's kind of glossy and flatten it out. fuzzy, but
Yeah.
we can do it like
Do
that.
you want me to back it up?
No, cool. That's fine. Got
Okay.
it.
So this, was that in this location?
Yeah,
Right here, yeah.
see, right here, around this corner, you're going into the arcade.
Oh, okay.
This corner, cigar store, right around the corner is the arcade.
There's no more of this tile work, or was this glass?
No, that was a specially made tile work. You notice all those letters are in tile.
Oh, that's
All
hand
separate
painted
pieces of
right
tile.
onto the tile.
Baked on.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if you can see that or not, where it says homemade candy. So what happened? That was all remodeled and
We
it's gone?
remodeled.
Yeah. Did you save any?
No,
Yeah. So this looks like the cigar store and the candy store right next to one another.
Yep,
Here, all
that's
in
right.
one. Yeah.
yeah, those are old pictures there.
You mentioned that you survived some pretty tough times here. When you're in a depression period or a slow period, what continues to sell? What can you count on?
Always candied apples and cotton candy, but taffy, what are we getting taffy now?
$6 a pound.
$40 cents a pound at one time.
40 cents?
40 cents a pound.
Wow, pound, my gosh.
That's
Yeah.
tough times, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Of course, everything was in proportion, you understand?
yeah.
You get sugar from them days for maybe 3 or 4 cents.
Oh, really?
pound.
Yeah.
What do you pay for sugar now?
Oh, gosh. I don't buy sugar anymore,
What
so
is
I
sugar?
don't know. In bulk, yeah. You must get a sense of when the economy's turning around then, just by what people are willing to buy before they announce it, before the government tells you the economy's picking up. What happens down here? What do people start buying?
Well, I guess it shows up more in the candy's always going, and the stores, the clothing stores. You know,
Uh-huh.
things are tough, people don't buy as much.
Yeah.
But candy always goes.
Candy goes no matter what.
That's right. We never had any problem.
Huh.
It may not go as much, but it always sells.
Yeah.
That's why we're still here. It's not the clothing stores, it's the candy stores that put us over.
Yeah. You mentioned that you see kids with more money these days.
Yeah.
That the kids didn't
Oh,
have.
yeah. I can remember when my dad had his barber shop, he'd give me 20 cents to go down the beach and have a good time,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And you could buy, I think, a drink here for a nickel,
Uh-huh.
or you could buy a snow cone, that shaved ice, for a nickel. I've been through some tough times.
Yeah. I used to get a nickel a week when I was a kid that I could call my own. I'd head for the candy store, buy those little colored dots on the paper. You know, they just little colored pastel dots of sugar candy on a paper, and they'd rip off so much of it for a nickel. That and Mike and Ice. Would you
Give
like
a
to
kid a nickel nowadays and you tell his dad to keep it, he needs some more.
Hey. Can we bring in the hand machines in here so he can show us those? Maybe we can set one right down in front of it. I'll set the chair up closer to you. We're going to bring this hand machine in so that he can take a look at you operating it. We'll set it right down here. Oh, she got a taffy hook.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah. Now, I had a great aunt who had one of these up on her wall in her kitchen. Screw it into the wall, and they hooked it.
One of those orange chair, which color?
Show up some.
Can I turn the crank there, Joe?
Yeah, one of those at the stool there.
Is this thing
I don't know. Yeah, it's still going. I'll hold it now, though.
You want to see this?
Yeah, we want to hear you tell how this one worked. And then we'll bring them in one at a Yeah, I think that's better to have it on that. How about that? Put it on this instead?
Yeah, it might show up better.
Yeah.
a heavy dish machine.
Getting tired of this?
I'm always tired. Very poor at this, carrying on conversation.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah, you are.
Now this, when you operate this, it would be on the long table.
Right there so we can see it better. And who's this fellow?
This is my son Joel, J-O-E-L.
Joel. Oh, okay.
Yeah. A lot of J's on it. I'm like a little top heavy there.
Now see, this would be on a big long table, right?
Uh-huh.
And take it through as fast as this.
This
thing
is
goes
cutting
by,
taffy?
It's throwing it out on the table, and the girls are on the other side wrapping.
So you're feeding it
Feeding
through
through
this
here, yeah.
slot in the back. And the top grabs it and pulls it through.
Pulls it through,
Cuts it,
Just
and
keep
then
it-
that knocks it
knocks
down
them
to
out,
the table.
yeah.
So how fast would you like to go?
fast as you can do it,
All right.
quite a few pieces. Quite a few pieces.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable.
That's a lot easier. That's-
Yeah, I guess it would be, no wonder you invested in that. Yeah. Let me see that, tell us about the taffy pull.
This hook goes up on a wall. Yeah, this hook mounts on the wall, like so, and you just pull the taffy, and then you walk back from it. Depends how good you are, you can stop a lot of people out in front looking at you.
Yeah.
Except one time, I'll never forget this, I had a big crowd out in front, and I missed the damn hook, and stuff went all over the floor.
Oh,
It was like embarrassing. Everybody started laughing. Yeah, that's an old timer. And where'd you find this thing?
I had it at the house.
Oh,
Taking good care of this stuff. It's great. This is an interesting
this is candy ribbon,
Christmas candy.
Christmas candy, our candy. Also, see, there's a little thing that goes on here that helps you feed it.
Oh, I see, it had a little
big
tray.
long
Uh-huh.
rope, and you just feed it in there like so.
So this would flatten it and curl it,
Encourage it.
and you cut it off by hand to the lengths that you want it.
That's it.
We got one more.
Just one more, and then
Lemon drop.
let it take the break. Oh, here comes the cute one, lemon drop.
Lemon drops. We used to make lemon drops, made horehound drops. Yeah. This one works easy. This works easy. Yeah.
Have you found a patent date on this? All that. Oh, that, yeah.
Anything underneath here? Oh. February 4th. Is that
14th, 1917.
71?
Oh, 1871.
Oh my God.
This is
That's the
1871.
patent job.
Yeah, when it was originally patented.
Yeah, that's an old time.
Yeah, I should say. That's great. Brass, cast iron,
Yeah.
No plastic in that, I'll bet.
no plastic.
No, they didn't have plastic in there.
Joe, this has been just wonderful. Thank you.
Glad we could help you out, you know.
Telling us all of these stories. I'm sure you've got a bunch more, but we'll save those for another day.
Well, I can tell you a couple more stories.
Well, sit down.
No, maybe you want to hear them. About a lady came up to the counter one day and I asked for the boss.
Yeah?
So I come up to the counter. Could I help you, ma'am? She opened his bag up, pulled her husband's false teeth out.
Ah?
Look at your goddamn taffy did to my husband's teeth. And next breath, she turned around and says, give me a box. He's got no business using it. Yeah, said he has no teeth. He has no business eating that stuff. That was a good one.
Did she get her false teeth back?
She got her false teeth back and an extra box of taffy.
Great. Oh, yeah, that came out of it. This is put this in the file. I got this
Yeah.
years ago. That's the same
That's
stuff.
an old,
The
yeah,
letterhead?
California stuff.
Yeah. Is that from her file or mine? This is,
That's an earlier box. And this is another box too.
okay.
There's another box. That box is aged. It's supposed to be white.
It's like 40s or 50s maybe. Oh, it was white originally? White
Yeah.
and pink? You had this one in the window, huh?
I don't know where that
Yeah.
box was. Upstairs.
Was it red then? It wasn't pink, it was red. Yeah. That's
The
nice.
box was white.
The box was white and the printing was red?
Look what kind of paper they use
Yeah.
some days. The cheapest kind of paper.
What's this? Oh, shipping labels.
Shipping labels from the old days.
Yeah. You shipped all over the world, didn't you? I read that,
Shipped all over the world, but we never got paid for half of it.
I read that you shipped stuff out to the boys in World
Oh,
War II
yeah,
out in the
quite a
front.
bit, quite a few.
Yeah.
We've had guys come back here and tell us about how good the stuff was when they got it. Some of them didn't get it for months after it was shipped, but taffy keeps good.
Okay. Joe, thanks so much.
An in-house documentary just for the Seaside company on the Marinis and how long they've been here and
Oh, I see.
things like that. So
Put down on the archives, huh?
that's right, exactly. That's what it's for.
That's terrific.
Yeah, so we're kind of getting every aspect here.
And what's your name?
My name is Elizabeth Rogers. They call me Dippy.
Dippy. And how long have you been doing this, Elizabeth?
I'm going on this 25 years here.
Here at Marini's.
At Marini. But I have worked other places. In fact, I was born into this business. My father was a candy maker.
Oh,
My mother was a chocolate dipper, and she taught me how to dip.
your mother did?
Yeah, she used to dip my father's chocolates, and I worked downtown for Masneros. I worked in Carmel. I worked up here at Buckhart's and
Wow.
playing around in the mud.
It looks like the world's best job to me.
Well, it is and it isn't. I mean, I start eating the minute I come in and I go right through the day. Which is really bad. I've been able to get through the door so far.
So how many pieces of candy do you think you've made in your life?
Oh, I don't know. I'll probably fill this room. I don't know. A lot. I love chocolate. I like to work in it too. I don't work full-time anymore. I'm only on part-time now. I mean, 45 years of dipping, it's time to slow up a little bit.
Do you mix it yourself here to melt the chocolate here yourself?
No, well, yes, in these. There's a water jet that goes around these, and I put in 10-pound bars. I have to knock it all up with a hammer, pieces, and put it in here. And then there's a thermostat on it that keeps it at a certain temperature. You can't dip underneath 90 degrees, and you can't dip over 100 degrees. It's very eccentric chocolate.
It looks like you have 94 degrees, 93 degrees
Yeah.
exactly.
Right. And in order to dip, you also got, it's not anything that's normal about using my hand. You can't have a sweaty hand and you can't have a cold hand. So, because if you have a hot, sweaty hand, the chocolate turns white. Doesn't hurt it, but it brings the cocoa butter up to the surface. And then
That makes it work.
and then if you've got a cold hand, you've got instant cement here. It's kind of difficult to work with.
So you're just right.
This hand is. That's the only thing that's normal, right?
Do you ever
ever
use?
do-
Yeah. Do you ever use your other hand? for
Oh
this?
no, that'd be a mess. In here, oh no, I've got to keep this one free, absolutely. I often thought if I had 3 hands, I could put 2 in here, it would just much quicker. But,
Ambidextrous, huh?
yeah, right. No, I've got to have 1 free hand to pick up different things.
Is there any kind of candy that takes 2 hands to make? Any kind of dip candy like this?
In chocolate?
Yeah.
No. Well, yes, there is too. Like the Rocky Road, there's a tray right up above you. And they use both hands. They melt down the chocolate in the big copper pot in the kitchen, and then they throw in when it's all melted, they throw in the marshmallows and the walnuts. But I take both hands and mix it up. That's the only time you use two hands that I know of.
Huh.
I wanted you to get the door rolling up on the first people coming in, so.
Okay.
Here it comes, look at that.
Well, thanks very much,
He's coming right
Ms.
up.
Rogers. We appreciate this.